What's up, y'all? I'm Diamond Young and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, maybe even the notification bell, because we are about to get into it, baby, and you don't want to miss it. We're about to get into a brand new series that's all about mastering content for your brand. There may be some of you out there that are either looking to start a brand, maybe you have a brand, a company, but content it's a beast. It's intimidating. Believe me, I understand. I get a lot of people that are asking me about where do I start? What do I buy? How do I show up confidently on camera, but still being myself? And how do I master it so I'm a pro and I can just turn that camera on and we can just go, right? So that is what I'm here to do. I am here to help you in this series. This will probably be about 4 videos or so. Well, we'll see where the spirit leads us, but it'll probably be about 4 videos, and I just want to go ahead and dive into it. So this first video is going to be all about building a content strategy that works. It's easy to see what everyone else is doing, and sometimes that just doesn't work for us. It's been many times where I can really admire what a creator is doing, but I know it just won't fit my personality, my brand, my editing style, if you will, and that's totally okay. But let's talk about how you can actually go about identifying a content strategy that works for you. In order to really narrow down and select a strategy that works, you really have to, some of you may be guessing it, but identify your audience. Who are you serving? Who are you targeting? Who is that ideal person that would be watching your videos? Some questions that you definitely want to ask yourself. Who is that ideal person? And who meaning it can be age, it can be demographic, it can be their interests. Do they work in corporate America? Are they entrepreneurs? What do they care about? Are they moms? Is it parents? Is it college students? There's no right or wrong, but only you can answer that. But by identifying your audience is going to really tremendously help you choose a strategy that really makes sense with your audience. You don't want to choose something that just the brand colors doesn't make sense, the tone of voice doesn't make sense based on who you're talking to. And something that you should always ask yourself as it relates to your audience, really think about what keeps them up at night. What problems do they really have? What problems do you want to help solve for them? Whether it's you adding perspective, whether you're actually promoting like a service and you're trying to solve something for them, or maybe you're providing motivation, or maybe you do entertainment and it's just more you want to create that escape for them on social media so that they can just laugh and relax and just take a mental break. So after you identify your audience, now it's time to get into what platforms are you going to use. Choosing the right platform is so important because, believe it or not, your audience may be on one platform more than the other. Yes, there are millions and billions of people across all social media platforms, but you want to avoid being burnt out. You want to avoid being overwhelmed, because with every social media platform, you really need a different strategy, to be honest. And I hate saying that because I know people are just like, I just want to get my stuff out there. Why do I have to think about all of this? But you want to really take the time to understand where your audience lives per se, so that you can meet them where they're at. I always suggest that everyone choose 1 to 2 platforms, especially if you're just starting, that you would like to really spend most of your time on and build most of your strategy around. If you're on all platforms, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with putting content in everywhere you can and spreading it out and collecting data. I'm all for the data because that will tell you as well how people are receiving the content and if the value is there and if it's resonating. But choose 1 to 2 platforms that you feel like you would want to commit to building your strategy on. So I have a nonprofit called Black Directory Incorporated, and at first we were on every platform. And when I tell you it wasn't working and it feels like you're doing all of this work, but in reality, we were spreading ourselves too thin. It was hard to be on as called X now, but Twitter, and then Facebook groups, and then Instagram, and then TikTok, and then YouTube. It's just not realistic when it comes to growth, at least not all at once. Now, if you go viral and make it big and you grow this audience, people are gonna, they may want to follow you on different platforms. But when you're beginning and really just trying to find your way, it's okay. Less is more. That's something I wish I would have realized in the beginning. And TikTok ended up just being our best platform. We've grown the most. We've grown tremendously on TikTok. We were able to grow faster. We had much more like engagement. And it wasn't just likes, it was follows. It was, people saving a lot of our posts, sharing it with their friends. We just blew up on TikTok. But we didn't really have that type of luck on Facebook or Instagram. We're still on Instagram because it's still a lot of people not on TikTok, but Instagram and TikTok are kind of our two, where if you don't follow us on one, you can follow us on the other, and the content will be somewhat similar. And when I tried YouTube, it just didn't really work with that particular brand and that particular company. It's not saying that it can't work, but I would have to really put some thought and strategy into how do we really resonate with those who are on YouTube, and does our brand make sense on YouTube? So it's normal to make those assessments. Lastly, we're going to get into how do you set realistic content goals? Content, that's the word of the hour. So when it comes to content, there are a few ways to approach your process and how you want to strategize around that. I am all for ChatGPT, which is my best friend. I'm all for using AI tools. It's such a great brainstorming partner. It has really been able to help me get unstuck, which is, something that you'll find yourself at some point. And just telling the AI platforms what you envision, right? You have to tell it something, you have to feed it something. But I was able to tell ChatGPT, like, hey, I want to create a series on this. I want to touch on these points. Help me craft this. And it was able to help me put it in order and give me even more ideas that I just wasn't really thinking about. But it saved me so much time. So that's why I'm bringing up an AI tool first, because again, these things weren't even around when I first started making content, but it saves me so much time, especially as a business owner. I have my 9-to-5 corporate job, so I don't have that much time, but that is a really good way to build your content calendar and or strategy. But when it comes to setting realistic content goals, now we're getting more into discipline and do you want to do it and do you feel like doing it? And that's something that you will battle every day. Every day. Even today, I was like, okay, I'm doing content today. I'm already getting my hair done today. So usually when I get my hair done, it's a good time to film videos. You have to really think about your day-to-day life and the ebbs and flows. And you have to really determine what are good areas of opportunities of, oh, could I have recorded myself in the car since I was driving somewhere anyways? Could I have filmed myself putting on my makeup and doing my hair and did a story time or get ready with me? So I always suggest really thinking about your routine, your day-to-day. And if you don't do anything else, pick one day out the week. It really can be one day out the month and do a mass recording, bulk record. Just put it in one day where that's going to be your content day. Your phone is on do not disturb. You're ready. You already know what outfits you're going to wear. You've already thought about throughout the weeks of, okay, what do I want to talk about? ChatGPT gave you a few ideas, and make that your content day, because it's very hard when you haven't built up that discipline to create content. Because believe it or not, some of you may know, but creating content it can be hard. People make it look easy, but you have so many times where, okay, you have to start over. You messed up on your words. You lost your train of thought. You thought you wanted to go in one direction and now you have to go back to the drawing board. Or if you're anything like me, you forgot to hit the record button. And at that point, you don't want to do it anymore. You're like, get me out of here at this point. So when it comes to setting realistic content goals, really think about the time that you can invest in this. Think about why this is important, because that's what's going to make you really decide to do it on days where you don't feel like it. Commit to one day, at least one day out the month that doesn't change. It doesn't move. That's your day. For me, it may be every fourth Saturday or every first Saturday, and I know I'm not going anywhere that day. I have everything I need. I've already thought about what it is that I want to talk about, and I know, and my family knows, oh yes, she's recording today. So you have to make time for it. And if that's not your issue and you can record daily or a few times a week, go for it. Go for it, go for it, because you really want to start putting content out there so that you can then get the feedback from your audience, and then you can kind of course correct along the way. So let's do a recap before I let you go. So you want to identify your audience. The best way to do this is to really think about who you want to serve, who's your ideal customer if you have a business, or your ideal person that needs your help. What problem do you solve? And really think about what keeps them up at night. It can really help you know how to target that audience and speak to them in a way that lands and that really resonates with them. Next, you want to choose the right platforms, and don't feel like you have to be on all these platforms. It doesn't mean that you'll never try them out and see what works. I'm not saying that. But don't burn yourself out to where you quit the whole thing because it's just too much. Start with one or two and really take your time and grow on that platform and foster community on that platform before you're on 10 different platforms and nothing is growing in the way that you hope. And lastly, set realistic content goals. So really think about your routine. Think about how much time you're willing to commit and invest in yourself when it comes to starting this content. Think about why you're doing this in the first place, because you'll really need it. And I challenge you all to select at least one day this month where you're going to film at least one video, but try to film multiple. And the videos don't have to be long, so give yourself that grace. But really see what you can do in a day. And I promise you, you will be surprised, but happy and impressed. And I really, really hope that this is helpful to you all. So I will be back with more videos. Please be sure to leave in the comments if this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any other ideas of videos that you would like to see from me. And I'm just excited to get your content life together. I can't wait to see your videos, your YouTubes, whatever platforms you're going to be on. I can't wait to support you. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We are on our road to 1K. We have to, I need your help. So again, if this is something that you enjoy, follow your girl, subscribe. I'm going to be bringing you some really good stuff, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. All right, bye.